Welcome back out on the line, everybody. It is a warm and balmy 3 degrees outside today. 50, 60, 70 yards down the creek, there's a beaver house. So me and Leo just put a couple sets here where we seen they were still going out and around through to their food beds and whatnot. Success out on the line once again.
Well, we just got some permission to trap some new land where supposedly there's a pile of beaver back in here flooding out a whole section up front. There's some farmland and they never can get control of them, so we're gonna see what's in here and hopefully set quite a few traps today and pull a few beaver out tomorrow. Justin's wrestling that 2x8 for the lesser folk that couldn't find their waders. Makes beaver trapping real fun.
I'm just here trying to help out the little man. Kind of keep it low key. You could put a foot trap here.
Yep, that's deep enough. So we found a few spots coming through here. Basically, we dropped the packs because out there it was just too much ice just punching through and we couldn't get out to where the water was. So we wanted to find the best way out here and find where all the sets are going to be. All the good sets would be anyways. Found quite a few good ones now, so we just want to get down through here to the end to see how many sets we actually need and where the best ones are.
Want me to talk from way over here? Yeah. Alright, boys and girls, what we got here, nice dam, little spillway where they're coming across here. It's about chest deep down here, which is more than enough to drown a beaver. And we're going to set the Blake and Lamb, I think it's a number 4 double long spring. Right here, we're going to put a couple of sticks to hopefully get them to hit their chest and put their feet down. They should be deep enough anyway, where they should be putting their feet down. Got the slide wire here, if I can get it. Hang on. Goes down one direction. Unless you got this knot in here like I do right now. hang on.
I have new wire in my pocket.
No, we're not using that. We're using this old stuff. This old wrinkly stuff. There we go. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stake one end up here. Got a little bent piece of metal here. Goes down, will not come back up. So this is my top. I am going to stake this off up here, throw this out to deep water. I don't know. Just a bucket with some big rocks in there. I don't know, it's maybe 30, 40 pounds. Alright, we're back. We found a stick that was better suited. Better. Got our big bucket all wired up. Got our trap here at the top.
Wired the rocks in from the top too.
How wet you think I'll get?
Got Danny.
Ready? Oh yeah.
Got it out far enough?
Oh yeah. See that extra explosion? That's what you like to see. Alright, here's the other fun part. Perfecto. Set it right here.
It's kind of a non spot for where we would put a foot trap, but there's really not like any banks in anywheres where they're going up because it's all kind of swampy area. And typically we would set a 2 or a 330 on the slide, but it's not really even much of a slide, but they are going through there. So, but like he said, it drops off like 5 feet right behind him.
I got my gloves at home, of course, as par for the course. We are on to the next one.
You gonna play? Well, I guess it's my turn to freeze my hands since we didn't bring our gloves. Justin didn't bring the gloves. I already kind of got this one ready to go, and like I said, this water's a little bit different than what you're used to trapping in, just because it's all majority of it's only ankle to knee deep, and then there's just spots where it drops right off, just because this is all flooded old farmland, and it's just kind of turned itself into where beavers kind of, and then when the guys try to come in with excavators or whatever. And part of the reason too trapping too is so important, like, you know, we're going to use the hides, we'll use the meat either, you know, for us if we want to eat it, or for our pets, or using it for other baits for other predators, because a lot of things like to eat beaver. So at least that way, I mean, if you find farm or landowners that are having issues, sometimes they'll just go out there and, you know, either get nuisance permit or they'll take matters into their own hands, which isn't really what we want to see. So there are benefits to trapping, and this is one of them. At least they go to good use. We'll use the furs ourselves. We'll send them out to be tanned, and then we'll make some gloves and other items like that out of them, or hats or whatever. So that's just a little bit tidbit there. One mistake that we've made in the past, or other new trappers make too, is trying to set that guard head right in the center, because you want to get it. Well, the problem is when you got real big beavers going through there, some guys will even take that and twist it to make it a little bit narrow, because you want to get the big beavers going through there, you want them to go through, and especially in a channel like this where there's 3 different spots, and we want to hopefully think that this is the main one where they're coming up in here. And there was some chew marks right here behind me somewhere. There's some right back there too, but they're coming up here and chewing on some of the smaller stuff.
Nice sandy bottom this way. This way, not quite so much, so we're thinking they go this way a little more often.
And there has been someone else in here trapping. We don't know. That's the other part. And someone that's not really experienced. They just want these beavers out, so they told us that we could come in. But the problem is, these beavers could be awful smart, because they trigger a trap once or twice, and kind of like that foot trap back there makes you a little bit nervous, because if they go over that and it hits their belly before their foot, they're going to get awful wise to, you know, just poor placement. Not to say that it was poor placement, but it's not one of the 100% success rate sets that we typically like to see. But, you know, we got to work with what we're working with here. So what I'm going to do, I already got the guards on there holding the springs back. I got it set on the most tension that it can have, and I got to try to get in there without disturbing it too much. And I want to get it in disturbing it too much and get myself soaked, I guess. It's the things I want to avoid. And you want to make sure that trap kind of get that underwater, and then we got to make sure it's stable too. Make sure you got a good stick in the ground like here, because if that stick is not secure, then they're going to get off of that trap. Something else could drag them off. So you want to make sure that's good and sound.
Because you got that wired over there, so it doesn't drift away.
Wired. It's not wired yet.
Well, get to doing it.
Another reason too that they always tell you to trap with a partner, which I'll rice, when you're beaver trapping, that sort of stuff, because you can go through the ice. Like I said, it's 13 degrees out today, and Justin's been in the water a couple times. I kind of did, not to the extent that he did, but my clothes are still dry yet. But it don't take a lot to get hypothermia in these temperatures, especially with water this cold. So Let me see if I can get that in there. It's sitting on the bottom nice. I like the look of that. Then I want to just find the circle part of the trap there. I'm gonna wedge these in there to hold that trap up nice and straight and put just enough tension on it where it don't got much wobble to it. The other part is too why it's important. That thing, you get your arm stuck in there, and like I said, you want to get it wired in there good. She's not going to be fun, and trying to get out of there, depending on how far back in the woods you are, it could be the end of you. So, you know, like that. I'm pushing on that fairly decent, and it's holding.
Rock
So
solid.
I think that's pretty good right the way it is. Just to make sure, like I said, let me use this stick here because the other one's right now. But if they're swimming through here and we want them to dive, you have to have a dive stick in here. So what I'm gonna do, I do want this one just because it's a little longer.
Yeah.
Or,
You got those safeties off?
not yet.
Okay.
So what I want to do then is take this and make it so those beavers want to dive under there versus trying to swim through. And that should do it right there. And then the next thing, like Justin said, is make sure I take those off. Be careful not to get your hand in the way or in it. That one's set. Make sure you push them all the way down because last year we had a miss on a beaver. And it was my mistake. I set it, but it must have dropped back down and latched itself, and guess what? No beaver. So you can see it. I don't know how well you can see on the camera. If you tap it, it'll focus a little bit more. Pretty tough seeing from there. Oh, right there, from my angle, you got a little more light. You can see that is undone now. Same thing for this side. Well, I'll shove this in here, and I think that's a good solid set. We'll see how she does tomorrow. I'll be back to check the traps. Justin won't be able to tag along. Beaver traps, you gotta check them every 2 days. Just because, you know, it's supposed to be the most humane way. It's gonna kill them instantly. So we'll be out here. I'll check them the first tomorrow, only because, especially when you're in a new area like this, if you have a lot of beaver in here, they're going to start to go out and look for the other beaver. So if there's a dead one sitting in there, they're just going to kind of avoid those areas or not feel like potential miss for another beaver. So we'll get these ones out of here tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning. Then they're going to go back active tomorrow night, looking for their other ones, and then hopefully have some more in there. And then probably after that, we'll check them every other day, depending on how many beaver we're pulling out of here. So that's a set. So when we've been coming in here, it's kind of tough. I mean, it's just all deep stuff. You don't know where to walk. We got 8 inches of snow the one night, so you couldn't tell where we walked here again today. And everything's just been freezing up, but it's not freezing up solid enough to step on the ice. Well, you step on it, but you're going through. We found this other dam here yesterday. Well, I found it a couple days ago when I got wet. Found a plank so we could get over here, and checking that one set, just soaked. You don't know where to step in here. And I have one trap left, and I was like, this one better pay off. But yesterday when we found it, we're like, this is a channel we can set a 330 on, and we can catch one. Well, guess what? We got one. It paid off. I don't care if I'm soaked all the way up to my chest right now. We're packing this guy out. I know I keep saying I'm soaked, but I am freaking tickled pink. Justin's gonna be so mad. He couldn't make it out today. We weren't even gonna set this set yesterday, but I convinced him to. I threw an extra one in the pack. We went a little farther, got to a really good spot. Let me turn this thing around here. We found this beautiful channel. This is the ledge right here. And it's tough for you guys to see, but we're like, that will catch a beaver. Justin knew he had to work, and he goes, you're gonna get all the fun tomorrow. I keep saying I'm soaked. I'm soaked. I could not be more ecstatic right now. There's our beaver. Not massive, but it's big. It's big enough. I'm happy with that. I'll take it.
Success out on the line once again. I'll have to pull them up. This is the only set we got up here. Like I said, the other ones aren't being productive at all right now. Leo's at work today. It's just me. I feel like our schedules never quite sync up, but till we quit our day jobs and become professional trappers, this is what we got to deal with. Not that that'll probably ever happen, but let me pull this guy up out of the hole and we'll see what we're dealing with. Looks like a decent sized beaver. All right, now for the exciting part. Maybe pull this stick out. Put these back in a second. There we go. Nice sized beaver. Oh, lost him here. There we go. Bite it off there. Yes, we're happy with that. Happy with that. Perfect catch. Right across the chest there. I'm sure he didn't last too long. Nice beaver. Welcome back out on the line, everybody. It is a beautiful end of February day, probably 50 degrees. Gorgeous out here. Nice day to be checking traps. We're out here where we had that Blake and Lamb foothold on that spillover to the dam, and it is gone down here at the end of the cable. I've been trying to pull it up. It is tough with this current and that all that weight on the end. I'm having a tough time, but I seen some sort of fur in it. Let's pull it up together and we'll see what we've got here. Maybe. Ugh. Jeez. Yeah, it is tough pulling on that. There's the bucket. Hang on. I'm gonna have to pull it up with both my hands here because it is tough. That was tough. That's a lot of weight, and with that current and the water and all these sticks here in the dam, wrap that cable around my hand, which I would not recommend, but had to do what I had to do. You guys are not gonna believe what we got here. Not the target species, but a beautiful otter. Oh, look at that thing. That is awesome. Perfect front pad catch. Nice otter. Wicked stoked on that. Haven't caught an otter in a while. And that just goes to show this bucket was plenty enough weight to hold the beaver, because otters are very strong swimmers. So the fact that that held him, that's awesome. We're doing it just what we wanted to here. This spill over here at the dam, not what we were expecting, but that is freaking awesome. Nice otter. I'm gonna get him out of the trap here and I'll show you guys the reset again, and couldn't be happier. I'll show you here. He had that run right to the end of the cable. That's perfect. That's just what we want. There was no way he was coming back up. So now, with a little finesse, see if they try and swim back up, there's no way that goes, but a little finesse, we can slide that right back up to the top here where we're gonna make the reset. I'll show you guys that in a second here. There we go. And it's gonna go right back there where it was. These Blake and Lamb double long springs, they're a great beaver and otter trap. This one I believe was my grandfather's. My uncle got all his traps when he passed. He married my grandfather's daughter, and he was gracious enough to give some of them back to me when I became old enough and started showing a little interest in trapping, and he showed me everything I know. Could never repay that man enough, so wouldn't be here without him. Great days. Got an otter. Beautiful day out here on the line. Life's good. Welcome back out on the line, everybody. We're out here. That same trap that's caught 2 other beavers before strikes again. Nice beaver. Might not be as big as the other 2, but I'm gonna pull them up here in a second and see. It's been warm the past couple days. The ice is starting to go out a little bit, especially down next to the dams, you can see. Right across his neck. This one was heading down this way in the creek. Nice tail on him. It's another mature beaver. So I'll show you what's going on, why this set was productive, even though our other ones aren't. This is just a main little chute off from the main creek. You can see it going down through up through there. The main creek's up there. And comes out here back to the main creek. There's a dam right there. So it's just, the creek goes out and around like this, and it's just something that they're using to cut in between, save themselves a little time, don't have to fight the current as much. We knew they were coming through here. It's a nice sandy bottom. There was tons of when the water was open, there was tons of little chewed sticks through there, so they were taking those up through there, snacking, whatever. And we picked the most. You can see there's a big clump of dirt and stuff here, and this is the most natural pinch point that we found on this creek. So obviously this is gonna probably be the best spot because they're used to going out and around this huge dirt clump anyways. So we set our trap right there, put the dive stick, and that was a set. These ones are very productive if you can find something like that out on your line. Not saying we're professionals, but this is what we do. Works out for us sometimes.
She's deeper than I thought it was. Alrighty, don't walk there.
This is why we need GoPros, because he just went for a swim. You want some dry clothes there, bud?
Yeah.
Most people would edit this out of their videos, but we're leaving it in for your, just to show you what the real trapping life is like, and for your little laugh
Life's
of the
not
day.
always rainbows and unicorns, I'll tell you that. Sometimes you gotta drink the beaver water.
Take it from a guy that's been through the water twice a day, and I didn't mention it's about 13 degrees out today.
My old man always said, if you're gonna be stupid, you better get tough. So,
And he didn't get
tough by
he
now.
didn't
So
get
dumb
either.
as hell.